What's up, guys? So I'm back and I'm gonna talk about PlayStation 5 Pro. I went to GameStop today. I got the PlayStation 5 Pro pre-ordered for only $50. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking $50, that's a crazy deal. Well, I pre-ordered it for $50 and then I pay the difference when it comes out. Now, I could have waited to see how everybody says PS5 Pro is handling this mid-gen refresh, but I gotta be honest with you, I'm a huge PlayStation fan, even though I'm very upset with the way they handled this bullshit 30th anniversary. And I want the best of the best. I want to be able to have the PS5 Pro so I can actually enjoy the upgrading graphics. I do want to upgrade my rig for racing. I want to get a racing wheel, but I have yet to find out which one will be the best for instance, I'm going to be playing on PlayStation 5 Pro. I want the best one for Gran Turismo 7. I keep saying GTA, I don't know. So that's something I want to get. I want to get a really good sim racing wheel, and I also want to have my games to have the most optimized experience. I want the extra frame rates. I want the graphical abilities to be better. I know that Digital Foundry said they're going to be soft in certain areas, but overall I think it's going to be better than the regular base PS5. And let's be real, I would rather just stick with that and have peace of mind knowing I have the PS5 Pro upgraded. And I know it's going to be a couple years before we see the new consoles come out. But in the meantime, the PS5 Pro is going to be more than enough. And that's important. So I'm excited about that. I know you guys are excited because we know deep down we are getting a mid-gen refresh. It's going to be better than the PS5. Now, when it comes to the 5090 coming out and all the other graphics cards, one thing we have to understand is that prices are expensive now just to upgrade to all kinds of things. So the 5090 is going to be extremely expensive. The 5080, I hear a lot of things about the 5080 and the 5070 that it's almost not worth purchasing because you're getting, according to these YouTubers that study this stuff religiously, you're getting maybe 15 to 20 to 25, 30% at the most increase for those graphics cards, where the 5090 is surpassing the 4090 in numerous ways, and such a leap that gives gamers a new, fresh glass of cold water, a fresh breath of air, knowing that they're going to be getting the best of the best. So 5090s are going to be the ultimate flagship for gaming and for streaming. It's going to have all the bells and whistles. But that's why my channel is mostly PlayStation 5, so I'm going to just keep it at PlayStation 5 Pro for now, because I might upgrade the camera. Hopefully the streaming service gets better too. I don't know because I don't know if they have any kind of weird capture card inside of it or whatnot. So when it comes to the PlayStation 5 Pro, I want to see all the games that I want to play enhanced. I want to go back to the old games. I want to go back to the new games. I want my channel to be a mix of all the games, not just Call of Duty. Of course, Call of Duty is like the main focus. Most of the community, I do believe, is surrounded around the FPS genre, shooting franchise, Call of Duty. Or I played Silent Hill 2 yesterday, and Silent Hill 2, in my opinion, the graphics are decent. I noticed in the beginning very choppy when you're going down the little path slope from the parking lot. Very choppy, and that's something I wasn't a fan of at all. But then as you got into the fog and into the town, I was playing on performance mode. That's where it started getting decent. I'm not gonna say the best, but there was still a little fuzziness around the enemies when you take them down, you step on them. You still see some artifacting, I guess that's what they call it. I don't know. Digital Foundry has a better way of explaining things. So I just didn't feel like it was 100% fully polished, but at the same time, I don't think they gave us a bad version. It's just when you compare it to the original Silent Hill, there's going to be so many differences. There's going to be the voice acting. There's going to be the character models. There's going to be the camera movements. There's going to be all the things that made Silent Hill 2 such an iconic game. The remake is, I almost felt like they were turning James Sutherland into a Kratos when he steps on the character, when he steps on the enemy, the monster, and he's just screaming with the most freaky agony screams, like he's screaming for his life. But then you gotta understand, he's probably freaked out at everything he's seeing. So that's the visual perception that I'm seeing. So that was cool. Now I'm hoping that on the PS5 Pro we are going to get a better visual gaming experience. You know, I hope the Pro really does make games flawless. I'm not going to say completely, but I want the games to be flawless. I wish there was a bigger CPU, but that's just what they're doing at this time. Now remember, I pre-ordered the PS5 Pro, so at any time I could just ask for that money back and not buy the console. So, you know, I still have till November 7th. I'm deciding whether I want to get it. I pre-ordered it, so more than likely I'm just going to get it because I want to see the difference. But there really is no difference. A lot of people are saying that there's really no difference, but Digital Foundry is sticking to their statements that there is a visual difference and it looks better, plays better. And then you have these other YouTubers that are hyping up the thrill of the PS5 Pro because it has a lot of things that the PS5 doesn't have. It has the added ray tracing. It has the PSSR. They call it the pisser. PSSR. That's going to be the machine learning AI, and then they have the graphics rendering, 67%. Right? Is it graphics computes 67%? That's a pretty decent bump, but the other things are very small. You know, 28% memory or 27. That's kind of odd. You know, I really wish they just made the console and they just said, hey, the graphics are going to be like 75 to 80% intact. The memory is going to be about 50 to 60% intact, and then the graphics rendering is going to be about like 60 to 65, like something a little more higher than the numbers we're seeing. Because if you really think about it, a lot of people have already did the data and they realize that the PS5 Pro is just a step up from the graphics card it is, and maybe a couple little enhancements here and there. I don't know. When we play the games, we better be able to see the difference, because it's like, is it really worth the purchase? That's the thing. That's the thing. I know Gran Turismo 7 4K at 120 is what I'm hyped about. I'm hyped about 4K at 120. That's something that's really catching my attention. Everything else, at this point, I do want to see the graphical upgrades, but if it's going to be like PS4 and then PS4 Pro, like nothing really major big, then, you know, what is Sony doing? Like, I want next gen. I want the PlayStation 6 to be worth buying a PlayStation 6. That's what I want. Next gen to be worth next gen. So, because this PlayStation 5, don't get me wrong, it is technically, it is better than the PS4, but I feel like when the PS4 was out, it was enough, and it brought in a huge amount of fans, and even the Xbox One X was sharp and crisp in its time. It was a nice box to play video games on. I remember I got the Gears 5 edition, and I was so psyched for that because I traded in my Xbox, my original Xbox, and then I paid a little difference for the Gears 5 edition. When that came out, I was actually excited. I was like, dude, this is awesome. I got the new Xbox One X Gears 5 edition. I still have it. It's freaking awesome. When you power it on, it sounds like the ice is cracking, and that was important to me at the time because, you know, when the PS4 Pro, I was playing like Evil Within 2. The vibes were there. I was playing what is it, the Mordor, the second one, Shadow of War. I really like, if I went back into that game, I would play it because visually, the graphics and everything, the games that were made back then were, I think there was more detail, more attention to detail in the old games, where now they're just trying to sell us something with a microtransaction and a middle finger. Like I don't feel like it's the old, like, is it because Sean Layden's not there anymore that they just like really took the gaming level and they just brought it down to a lower level? Like, I really thought PlayStation 5 was supposed to be this huge graphical upgrade. Like, they were showing these Unreal Engine 5 demos, and I was like, holy shit, if this is going to be the new PlayStation, this is going to be deep. Like, and there was a lot of hype through it all. So the hype made us believe that this is the way the games are going to be. And I think that's where the deception, I think that's where the propaganda, because we really thought we were getting the latest and greatest in next-gen tech. That's why we were camping out for this shit, because we're like, we're not missing out on this. This is going to be the next. PlayStation 5 was like, oh, wow, like light years ahead of everything. And to be honest with you, it was not even close. Not even close. Like, it's still better than the PlayStation 4 Pro, but at the end of it, it's like a PlayStation 4 Pro Ultra, because you're getting the HDR, you're getting the 2.1, you're getting better controller, better haptic feedback, all that stuff. That was cool, but I thought in terms of graphics, like when we had Modern Warfare 2019, the graphics in that game was visually compelling over the Modern Warfare 2 graphics. And then the all the other games that came out, even Cold War was a fun game, but the graphics just didn't seem as compelling. The sound of the guns, the sounds, the graphics of the characters really offset me, made me feel like that wasn't the way the game was supposed to look. So that's a huge downfall. And then the other games came out. What was the other one? Vanguard, which was the movement of that game was great. Like, when it first came out, we were excited because we were like, you know what, we know it's an old school Call of Duty, but we're actually having fun playing it, and that's what matters. So when we were playing that for a little while, once the updates, once the developers went on vacation, once they neglected the game, Sledgehammer made a really bad name. And now Modern Warfare 3 came out, and it was like Sledgehammer actually cared about the game. The game is fun, the graphics are decent, but at the end of the day, I don't know, because now if you look at Black Ops 6, I think it's the same thing. It's the same thing as Modern Warfare 3, and so it's Modern Warfare 3 and Cold War. Those are the two mixes of that game, which is cool. I think it's cool. I just hope it's going to be worth when it really comes out. I hope they have some kind of way of dealing with the hackers. I hope the anti-cheat gets upgraded, because it is an embarrassment that they have to come to my channel, and every time I play the game, they tell me that my report has led to a ban, and I banned 4 people last night when I joined. 4 people were banned. So what does that tell you? That tells you there's a lot of people that are cheating in Call of Duty. Period. And they have the audacity, they have the ego, they have the cockiness. They're so they have this gripe against people that just want to play the game without cheating, and they don't like us because we're the ones that squeal on them. But they're cheating. If they're cheating, they shouldn't even be playing the game. They shouldn't even have access. And that's another thing. You know, Call of Duty is going to be protecting certain people that probably still are cheating, but are well known in the community as like a pro or someone that just basically loves Call of Duty and was playing for a long time, is in the league, whatever. I don't know, but the point that I'm trying to make is the most important people are going to be protected, you know. But the people that are cheating, those are the ones that get caught, you know. I bet you if I got a Cronus Zen and I connected that to my controller and I was playing, you guys would notice a huge difference in my KD. I would be gunning everybody down and having a good time, but Activision would eventually catch on to that. They would be like, nah, this isn't the way he usually plays. Something's off. He usually gets like 20 kills in a match. Now he's getting 60 to 70 to 80. Something's off. And that's how you find out that someone's cheating in the game, is when you notice that they're getting more kills than usual. So when I see the scoreboard when the other opponents on the other team are they finish their match, and you see that they got what is it, like 50, 60 kills, sometimes even 150, sometimes even 200 kills at some point, but that's like overkill, and you know they're cheating. All right, guys, thank you so much. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment. I'll see you guys on the next one.